Well, Abongile joins us now in the studio to give us some reflections on what happened at Luthuli House today. Abongile, good evening to you. I mean, this, of course, follows on the meeting of the National Working Committee of the ANC. Was there anything necessarily new in what Jessie Duarte said today?
Good evening. Of course, in a nutshell, we sat there as the media waited in anticipation that the NWC meeting would bring about something new. In a nutshell, no, nothing new that she did bring forward to us as the media, except to reiterate the call by the ANC that South Africans must come down. South Africans must not be threatened, must not be moved by these myths that are happening outside here, saying that if the land is expropriated without compensation, you might see a downfall when it comes to the country's economy, and of course saying that people must not just get confused. The processes will take place, consultations are still taking place, and of course the parliamentary process on this land expropriation business still continues.
So in a sense then, she sought to provide some kind of certainty about the governing party's position on land reform. But did she explain how the ANC is going to balance concerns around economic instability and food security with, of course, the need for land reform?
Basically, she came out strongly in terms of the fact that she's calling on to the ANC and, of course, the members of parliament who represent the party in the National Assembly in Cape Town to make it a point that they do sort of look at this in a way that won't have any hiccups, won't have any fallouts, won't have anything that will come as a disadvantage or that will sort of derail the process of land expropriation without compensation, saying that there's about 1.1 million submissions from the public, both written and of course with the public hearings that have been taking place throughout the country, saying that now it's all on the hands of parliamentarians, especially ANC members, to make it a point that all the amendments that need to take place or to be implemented on the Section 25 of the Constitution do happen quite speedily.
I thought a particularly interesting line for me was when she said that needs to be done in line with the rule of law. Does that indicate to you at all that perhaps it's a concession from the ANC that this may yet be some time before it's effected because it may be open to legal contestation?
Interesting enough, she went as far as saying that there shouldn't be confusion that is brought about by this, saying that it's not an electioneering slogan as has been made to believe, saying that in a nutshell this land expropriation seeks to bring back the much needed dignity and a sense of belonging to many citizens in the country. Of course, not mincing her words in saying that no matter what happens, the land expropriation will indeed take place. As to when, she didn't come out to say what time, and of course the question was from the media, it's because of the fact that now we're building up to the national elections next day, saying no, there's no way that we will have to utilize this or use this as a scapegoat to say, if you vote for ANC, for argument's sake, land expropriation will happen speedily. She says parliamentary processes will take place in due course, and then of course we will see the land reform being implemented.
Now, she also spoke about saving VBS Mutual Bank. It's something that the party is also quite strong and quite clear they want to do.
Yes, of course, she did mention the fact that they are welcoming COGTA Minister's report, is William Kize, saying that the Hawks and, of course, the provincial government in Limpopo will come in handy in investigating, what happened that led to the collapse of VBS Mutual Bank in that province. Of course, saying that it's important that that bank is saved, as she believes that many, especially the elderly, and of course the young, the elderly in Limpopo, depend on that bank to actually access their financial services. Did
she say anything about those who've been fingered for wrongdoing?
She says the law must take its course. She says they will be in full support of all the investigations that are going to be conducted by the Hawks. And of course, saying that those that are fingered, she's looking forward to seeing them taking to the dock and actually answering for themselves.
She also spoke about the VAT panel report around the basic foodstuffs and other items that must be zero rated for VAT.
Yes, saying that they welcome the report from the VAT panel that was doing some investigations regarding as to how this VAT should be implemented and following that increase we've seen earlier this year, saying that of course they welcome the decision not to increase VAT, including your basic foodstuff and of course your sanitary towels and things like those, saying that because those are the main things that affect the poor. So it's actually a good thing, she says, that has not been increased.
All right, we'll leave it there with Abongile Dumako, our SABC reporter there at Luthuli House, giving us a rundown of that briefing by the Deputy Secretary General of the ANC. Stay with us, we've got more news and analysis after.